political wranglings over Elon Musk's DOGE, but is it part of national security? Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Kind of going into a little bit about this DOGE, but not going into specifics about DOGE. I know it's a highly political subject. I think the left wing doesn't like it and the right wing loves it. Sometimes it's kind of strange that people are actually interested in reducing waste and fraud and abuse, but some people say it's not, and they're cutting into the bone. Well, aside from that, I asked the question: is this really part of national security? Well, it could be, because take a look. There's a key metric that many people, historians, have looked at, and that is when debt interest surpasses military spending. And that's, of course, the reason I mention that is we'll look at some charts here, and see what that looks like. First of all, you look at history, and of course this has been talked of. There's a few folks here: Paul Kennedy, Neil Ferguson, Ray Dalio. They've all made these made books. And of course, this is just a recent history, but in the past, even going back to the Roman Empire, where the economic part of the empire gets overextended and then it collapses. So what some people have come up with is the idea that when the interest payment exceeds the military spending, you've reached a point where you've gone too far, and unless you can cut it back, that particular empire or global power will cease to exist. Here's a couple things in history, going back to the Spanish Empire, the Dutch Republic, France, the Ottoman Empire, the Habsburg Empire, the Russian Empire, Italy, even as recent as the United Kingdom and Soviet Union. They've all collapsed when their debt have increased to the point where it's greater than their military spending, and of course eventually that was the signal for the end of that particular regime. And of course the United States is part of that as well. We're not immune to these things. Of course, the United States is the single superpower in the world, but will it always be? So this is a key metric to watch. And what I do is I present this chart here, and you can see going back to as early as 1980, go back even further. I think there's a few moments in time during some of the world wars where that surpassed. But you can see that gradually the interest payments have kind of come up and down, but now it's going to be exceeding here, probably this year or next year, where the interest payments are going to exceed the military spending. And of course, this is the signal. This is the key metrics that says that if this isn't reversed, obviously this means that the debt crisis continues. And I don't have to tell you what that means when the U.S. no longer becomes a military superpower. Some people obviously would cheer that on, others would not. It becomes a situation where the global influence decreases of the U.S. And of course, that can make all kinds of political changes in terms of where we go in terms of the hegemony of the U.S., the dollar. It no longer becomes preeminent in terms of the global situation. Anyway, give us your thought. Take our online poll. Is DOGE part of national security to prevent this? And take a look at the online references as well as the write-up from the AI to see what it says and go into the details of those historical events.